Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship today, and we've been using the book of John as a discipleship text. We've been going through it step by step, verse by verse. This morning I thought I'd break from that a little bit. We are in the midst of a pandemic, and I guess the government just this morning called it a pandemic, and it's creating some havoc and some shortages within our world today. And as a part of discipleship, we need to live life together. I want to get us focused on exactly what's going on here. God does not want us to live in panic. He does not want us to live in fear. And for those of us that believe that God is sovereign, He is in control of everything all the time. There is nobody that this disease is going to affect that God doesn't allow it to affect them. In my own personal feelings and my own personal thoughts, I worked in the healthcare industry for 20 some years. I think that we have to have some conversations about how we're doing things and how we're going to react to this. But I also think this is a great opportunity for the church to step up, to do the things that we need to do because God can use this thing to further His kingdom. And I really believe that, we don't have any control of the things that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them. I am not going to react in panic and fear. I know that my God is in control, but we're having some very practical discussions on how we function every day. And how we respond to this. I know that very early on in the church, the Black Plague came along, and there was a whole bunch of Christians that didn't walk away from the Black Plague, but actually started ministering to people that were dying in it. And it was recorded very early on by some historians that these crazy Christians were taking care of the dead and dying. And my charge for us today as the church, as the disciples of Jesus Christ, how did we learn from that? And are we willing to step up and do those things? This is a huge opportunity for those of us who believe in Jesus Christ to share our faith with people and to literally come alongside them and help them work through this. I'm not saying... if tomorrow I get the coronavirus and I die from it, I know that my God is ultimately in control of that. But it doesn't mean that I don't wash my hands 10 times a day. I've been washing my hands 10 times a day since I was involved in the healthcare industry. I did it before it was the in thing to do. So, we have to have this metered response. But I think, God always turns mayhem into messages. God can do what He wants with this. I'm not saying that He has created it, but He has allowed it to be created and allowed it to be loosed on this earth. And He can use it for His honor and His glory. And that's what I'm praying today. That no matter where you are in this whole spectrum of things, that you look at this as God is in control of these things, and He Himself can use these things to further the kingdom. So that's my encouragement for you today. And really, I want to encourage you, don't live in fear and panic. Fear and panic come from the evil one. We need to live in a different way. We are the ecclesia, the called out ones. How is it that we impact our world during this situation? Are we having conversations that bring honor and glory to God? Are we engaging with people, bringing honor and glory to God, not to us, for His glory alone? And that's my encouragement for you out there today. Have these discussions. Talk about how you're doing things. And when they tell us that, hey, you're no longer able to meet as a church, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond to that? There's a Bible verse that tells us, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, as is the manner of some, even as you see the day approaching. And I can honestly guarantee you, today, you're a day closer than you were yesterday. The day is approaching. So let's stay strong in the Lord. Let's meet together. That doesn't mean that we don't take some precautions. We don't wash our hands. We don't cover our mouths when we cough. We don't throw all caution to the wind. But we ultimately know that God is in control of this whole thing. So be out there today. Be salt and light. Be making disciples and be being disciples. For Discipleship Today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you.